Special thanks to Patreon supporter Bros 2016 for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Skirtwolf here bringing you another Minecraft World War II vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we're going ahead and build the Lockheed P-38 Lightning. The Lockheed P-38 Lightning is an American single-seated, twin-piston engine fighter aircraft that was used during World War II. Developed for the United States Army Air Corps, the P-38 has distinctive twin booms and a central nacelle containing the cockpit and armament. Allied propaganda claimed it had been nicknamed the Fork-tailed Devil by the Luftwaffe and two planes, one pilot by the Japanese. Along with its use as a general fighter, the P-38 was used in various aerial combat roles, including as a highly effective fighter-bomber, a night fighter, and as a long-range escort fighter when equipped with drop tanks. The P-38 was also used as a bomber pathfinder, guiding streams of medium and heavy bombers or even other P-38s equipped with bombs to their targets. Used in the aerial reconnaissance role, the P-38 accounted for 90% of the aerial film captured over Europe. The P-38 was used most successfully in the Pacific Theater of Operations and the China, Burma, India Theater of Operations as the aircraft of America's top aces. In the South Pacific Theater, the P-38 was primarily long-range fighter of the United States Army Air Forces until the introduction of large numbers of the P-51D Mustangs toward the end of the war. Unusual for a fighter engine-powered, was boosted by turbo superchargers, giving the P-38 good high-altitude performance, making it one of the earliest Allied fighters capable of performing well at high altitudes. The exhaust was muffled by the turbo superchargers, making the P-38's operation relatively quiet. It was extremely forgiving and could be mishandled in many ways, but the rate of roll in earlier versions was too low for it to excel as a dogfighter. The P-38 was the only American fighter aircraft in large-scale production throughout the American involvement in the war, from the attack on Pearl Harbor to victory over Japan Day. So yeah, the P-38 Lightning here, a kind of iconic World War II aircraft. As I mentioned, pretty much one of the only aircraft that really was in full-scale production with the United States when the attack on Pearl Harbor happened and all the way to the end of the war. It's a really pretty looking fighter. I mean, despite it being a twin boom, which usually I'm not too fond of, but this aircraft here definitely is a really nice, well-looking and well kind of designed one, I would guess you can say. So I'm really happy the way this fighter came out, and she will make an awesome addition to any of your worlds if you're looking for a World War II Allied type fighter. Now, the aircraft we have in front of us is the G version, so it is a kind of mid-war type version. There obviously were a few differences between the variants as they progressed throughout the war. But overall, really nice looking aircraft, and again, will make an awesome addition to any of your World War II scenarios. As you can tell by my little description there, it pretty much all service throughout most of the campaigns around World War II. Before we go and take a look at it though, I do want to go ahead and give special links to Patreon supporter Bros 2016 for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel where you already do, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions where you can go and put a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so earn a vehicle request of your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel. It's really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out. Again, links will always be in my video descriptions. With that though, let's go ahead and dive in here to take a look at the P-38 Lightning. So we have both the in-flight and landed version available for you guys in this tutorial. I do want to mention that the landed version is a bit modified than how it would actually be. Technically the P-38 landed does sit at a slight angle, but I felt the angle was just way too minimal to actually really try to represent to the full extent. So I thought that would be best just to have it lay flat, as again, as I mentioned, the angle is really not anything drastic and probably would only drop the aircraft maybe down maybe half a block to a block total. So not a huge slant at all to it. So we do have the landed version that will be basically built in this model as well. So those will both be available to you guys in this tutorial. But anyways, we have the front here of the aircraft. So the nacelle here, this is where the cockpit is mounted. Also the guns in this forward-facing section. Obviously we have the forward landing gear as well in this section. We have the two props here, both sides with our engines, all that stuff going back. The National Star and Sydney there on the sides there of those booms. And we do have these little intakes or exhausts or something like that located near the back here. And we have the tail here. Now you can see some yellow highlights on it. This is based off some models of the aircraft I saw. Obviously you can change the colors however you want them if you want to do it something different. you're obviously more than welcome to. This is just kind of some pictures I found off Google and kind of based this aircraft off of those designs. So that right there is basically our twin booms there. And I do want to also show you guys the in-flight version. So this right here is the in-flight version of the aircraft as well. So with that out of the way though, that is pretty much it for the overview for the P-38. And with that, let's go and move into our first layer by beginning with layer number 1. Alright guys, so I'm going ahead and moving into our first layer here. I'm going ahead and start off with layers 1 and 2. We'll start with layers 1 and 2 because layer 2 really is kind of your main layer here, and layer 1 is just going to be adding on some trapdoors to the bottom of some blocks, so kind of easier just to go and knock these 2 layers out all together. Anyways though, before we go ahead and dive into it, I do want to go ahead and mention a few things regarding this tutorial. First thing is going to be, if you're completely new to my aircraft tutorials, the way I like to structure these tutorials is first I like to go ahead and do half on, half off. What this means is we're building the entire centerline of the aircraft and the entire right side. Since this aircraft is symmetrical, whatever we do on the right side will be copied over to the left side, and yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty simple stuff with that. Also, in addition, if you do want to build the landed version of the aircraft, we will be building this in a modified, or building this as a landed or an in-flight version and then modifying it to put the landing gear onto the aircraft at the end of the video. So to make sure that you build this correctly, if you're wanting to build the in-flight version, you want to make sure that layer 2 here, so this layer you can see here, is going to be 2 blocks up from the ground level. You can see we have 2 full blocks of space between this layer and the ground level there. Very important to make sure that's correct because obviously, if not, it's not going to sit properly on the ground. So just make sure that's all good to go, and we can go and get started here. Obviously, if you're building in flight, you don't really have to worry about that. Just make sure you're not going to run into the height limit. Anyways, let's get started. First thing we do is we're going to place down a row 4 of polished diorite. So just a row 4 of full blocks. Then going toward the front here, we're going to place down a piston if you're on Java, and we're going to have it upside down like so. If you're on a different version other than Java, I would recommend going ahead and place down a polished diorite upside down stair instead in that section there. After that, we're going to place down a polished diorite top slab and then an iron trapdoor to go and round off the front there. Going to the back, we're going to place down another piston upside down like so. Same thing. And again, if you're on a different version, you can also place down a polished diorite stair again upside down. That will work also. We're going to go ahead and place down a polished diorite top slab and then an iron trapdoor going back, and that right there is going to make our center line. Moving out to the sides of this, we're going to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull like this to the side, and then 1 and 2 white stained glass panes. We're going to then take our polished diorite stairs and place down 1 and 2 stairs across like so, and then a polished diorite top slab like that. We're going to go then place down an iron trapdoor coming off that white stained glass pane there, then a polished diorite top slab, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 iron trapdoors back from that. And on the inside here, we're going to place down 2 iron trapdoors like so. After that, we're going to take our iron trapdoors again. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the side there. We then want to go ahead and grab our polished diorite stairs. We're going to place down a row of upside down stairs here. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along the side. So upside down. And then behind those stairs, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 polished diorite full blocks. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upside down polished diorite stairs there to the outer side. Then coming off the last 4 stairs, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 iron trapdoors like that. Now going forward from this block here, we're going to place down a black concrete block, and then we're going to go and then place down a white stained glass pane to both sides of that block. We also want to place down a polished diorite top slab going forward, and then a skeleton skull to both sides of that top slab. After we have that done, we're going to then go to our back here. We're going to place down a polished diorite full block, coming off that full block down the center there, then a skeleton skull to both sides. We're going to then place down 1, 2, and 3 polished diorite top slabs, and then 1, 2, and 3 iron trapdoors. On the first 2 iron trapdoors here, we're just going to place down 2 iron trapdoors to the sides there, like so for both sides. We then want to go ahead and count back from this iron trapdoor a total of 1, 2, 3, and 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. After we have that done, we're going to then place down a birchwood upside down stair like so. Yellow concrete behind it, and then another birchwood upside down stair. Again, this color can be changed, whatever you guys want to do. If you guys want to do blue, you can change it to blue. If you want to do red, you can change it to red, whatever you guys want. But again, for this model here, we're going to be going ahead and using yellow. And we're just going to go ahead and then delete the stair, or those blocks that we used to build back, just like that. Now, the last thing we need to do for the bottom here is to go ahead and grab iron trapdoors, and we're going to then place down 1, 2, and 3 iron trapdoors there across the bottom. Now, at this point, you pretty much have this layer complete. However, if you are on Java, there are a few other things we can do. This is going to be going ahead and using a command. This command is going to be /give, space @p Minecraft debug underscore stick. Pressing enter will give us our stick. By going ahead and tweaking this, we're going to go and then go to this glass pane here. We're going to go ahead and basically left click it until we get directions here, and we will go ahead and then right click to go ahead and extend our glass panes in said direction. And we can do it for those glass panes here on the engine, so it looks something like that. And what it does is it extends those glass panes to connect up to the stair and the skeleton skull, which just kind of helps fill in that area a little bit more properly. Same thing can be done over here on this side of the fuselage as well. So same thing can be done on both sides here to extend this glass pane toward that skeleton skull and toward that polished iron block. And now right there's just a few extra little things you can do there to kind of help make the build look a little bit better for those that are on Java. If you're on Java, I would recommend holding on to this stick. We will be using it a little bit later throughout the tutorial, so just keep that stick in your menu for easy access. Anyways though, let's move on to layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer number 3. For layer 3 to get started with here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of this iron trapdoor, and then a mossy cobblestone wall coming off it going forward. We're going to then go back from this mossy cobblestone wall, or sorry, from that green terracotta block there, for a total of 9 more. So you're going to have a row of 10 going back from that wall. And then a dark oak wood slab on the last iron trapdoor there on the end. After that, to the sides here, we're going to place down a green stained glass pane here, a white stained glass pane, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mossy cobblestone walls back, a dark oak wood stair, and a daylight detector like so. At this point here, your daylight detector may cause that iron trapdoor to open. By going ahead and left-clicking the trapdoor with a debug stick for us on Java, we can go ahead and select the selected open to true, right-click it, and it should close the trapdoor like so. If you're on a different version, I would recommend going ahead and either replacing the iron trapdoor with a birchwood trapdoor or setting this daylight detector to night mode. Those are a couple alternatives. Do probably the birchwood trapdoor on the bottom there is your best bet. After that though, we're going to go ahead and then place down a piston on the front here. This could be substituted for an portal frame for different versions. We're going to go then place down 2 dark oak wood slabs and then 2 daylight detectors at back. Again, we'll do the same thing here again by altering those iron trapdoors. We're going to go then place down 2 pistons again, like this going back, followed by 2 dark oak wood slabs and another daylight detector like so on the end here. And we also want to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on top of this iron trapdoor there and make sure that's closed. And on this iron trapdoor, again, we'll use the debug stick again or one of the options I listed earlier. Then taking our mossy cobblestone walls, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 going forward like so, and then a green stained glass pane on the front here like that. Then going toward the back, we're going to then place down 4 back, so 1, 2, 3, and 4 glass panes. After that, we're going to then take our green terracotta. We're going to place down a green terracotta block coming off this glass pane, like so to the side. We're going to place down a yellow concrete block coming off that, and then a zombie head, like so. That will be on the yellow concrete block, like so, going forward. Then going back, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks. We're going to go and then grab ourselves a green shulker box, place down 1, and then 2 more green terracotta blocks back, and then another green shulker box. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 green terracotta blocks down the center here. Now we want to go and then take a dark oak wood stair and a dark oak wood trapdoor and place down a dark oak wood stair on this iron trapdoor, as well as this one here. And we're going to then place down a dark oak wood trapdoor coming off the back there of the stair. And actually we want to alter the stairs so that they are facing this direction here. So you should look at that on both sides. We're going to then place down a green terracotta block going back from those stairs and another green stained glass pane here in the corners, like so. After that, we want to go and place down an item frame and a black bed in the item frames, like so. And the black bed is going to be in the item frame rotated so the pillow is facing downwards. And that'll be done on both sides there, like that. After that, we're going to go then grab our polished diorite. We're going to place down a polished diorite block right here. Then going back from that, we're going to place down yellow concrete, another polished diorite full block, and then a polished diorite top slab. On both sides of that top slab, we are going to place down a birchwood sign. And then take our our polished diorite. We're going to place down 2 polished diorite full blocks and then a green terracotta block back. Taking our iron trapdoors, we're going to go from our polished diorite. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. This should connect up to the air side there, and then we're going to have a second row that goes back from it like so. And then to the sides here, coming off those, we're going to place down 2 rows of 2 of iron trapdoors like that on the ends. Now after that's done, going ahead and moving into our side of our booms. We're going to go ahead and place down our green stained glass paint on the side of this block. And then we're going to go back a mossy cobblestone wall. We then want to take our green terracotta, go back 1, 2, and 3. And then for us Java players, we're going to then place down a piston. After that piston, we want to go and then place down a dark oak wood slab. And after that dark oak wood slab, or actually my bad, it's actually going to be, after that green terracotta there, it's actually going to be 2 mossy cobblestone walls. So instead of the piston and that slab, we're going to go and place down our mossy cobblestone walls. And then to the side of those walls, we're going to place down our dark oak wood slab and our piston. So those will be placed just out to the side there. And we'll go ahead and then grab our polished diorite slabs and stair. We're going to place down 2 polished diorite full blocks and a polished diorite upside stair like that. So pretty simple. And then continuing on back from those from those mossy cobblestone walls, we're going to take glass panes here. And we want to place down a white glass pane, then a blue stained glass pane, then a white stained glass pane, and then a green stained glass pane like that for the side there. Then continuing on to our wings, we're going to go ahead and grab our polished diorite top slabs. We're going to place down a row, our iron trapdoors as well. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor coming off the stair. Then 1, 2, 3, and 4 top slabs back. We then want to place down 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go then do 2 more rows of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So it looks like that. We're going to go then do 1, 2, then an iron trapdoor. We're going to then do a row of 3 of iron trapdoors, then a row of 2, and then 1 like that out to the side. And once you have that all done, that right there will basically conclude what we have there for that. And at this point in time, we're going to then take our debug sticks. We're going to go and go to our pistons here, and we're just going to go and right click those pistons like so. And you can see it'll get rid of that top layer there and make these a little bit nicer in terms of shaping our wings. We can also do the same thing on the bottom here by going ahead and going to these bottom pistons and using our debug stick and right clicking them like so to get rid of that wood portion there for the bottom ones as well. Anyways though, that right there is going to conclude everything we have there for layer number 3. And with that, let's move on to layer number 4. Alright guys, moved into our next layer. We're moving into layer number 4. For layer 4 to go ahead and get started with here, to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on top of this green terracotta block, a daylight detector back, and then 3 dark oak wood slabs back from the daylight detector. We're going to go ahead and place down 3 black stained glass blocks and a nether brick slab here on the end. After that, we're going to place down a green zombie head here on this mossy cobblestone wall, the second one there, then 1 going back from it like that. So we have the 2 at a slight angle, and then the 2 that are straight on. We're going to go ahead and then place down a black stained glass pane, followed by a dark oak wood fence gate like so, and another black stained glass pane directly after that. And then another wither skeleton skull, which will be at a slight angle like that. After that, we're going to move to the sides here for our engines. We're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on top of this green terracotta block here, then 2 dark oak wood slabs back from that. We then want to place down a polished andesite slab, and then an end rod back. And after that end rod, we're going to go and place down a redstone repeater, like so. We then want to place down another polished andesite slab, and then we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull on top there, like so. We're going to then go back from that with a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 daylight detectors. We're going to place down 2 dark oak wood trapdoors, 1 on the green terracotta block, and 1 on top of the stairs here on both sides there. And then going back to our line, we're going to place down again 2 dark oak wood trapdoors back. Then on top of the yellow concrete one, a birchwood slab, or trapdoor, and then 2 more dark oak wood trapdoors back. 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks. And at this point here, we're going to then take our dark oak wood trapdoors. We're going to place down 1, 2, and then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we'll go across those iron trapdoors. And then we're going to go then place down 2 green carpets on the end there, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 over. Our 5th iron trapdoor here should be our center point. We're going to place down a lever on top of that iron trapdoor, which will be facing forward, like so. And once we have that all done there, that's pretty much it for that. And we're going to continue working out to the side here for our wings. So our wings here will pretty much be done in this layer. For us to go ahead and continue them, though, we would need to go ahead and take our green green carpet. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 green carpet. Actually, sorry, only 3 green carpet right there. We're going to then place down a second row of 3. Followed by a green carpet on the iron trapdoor, dark oak wood trapdoor, and then 1, 2, and 3 green carpet back. We're going to go then place down 2 dark oak wood trapdoors and then a green carpet, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing again. So 2 dark oak wood trapdoors and then a green carpet like so. We then want to place down a row of 3 of dark oak wood trapdoors. Then grab our daylight detectors. We're going to place down a daylight detector, and then 2 dark oak wood trapdoors back from it. We're going to go then place down 2 daylight detectors, and then another dark oak trapdoor here. And we're going to go then place down 2 daylight detectors, like so, and then one out here in the corner. We're going to place down a block coming off this iron trapdoor on the bottom, and on top of that we'll place down a zombie head at a slight angle like that in that corner space between those daylight detectors. We can then go ahead and go to these iron trapdoors by going ahead and left clicking them until we get selected open. We'll go ahead to true, we'll set that to false like that to go ahead and close those, and again we can use birchwood trapdoors instead or other means to go ahead and get those to close properly. But anyways, that right there is pretty much it for what we have there for layer number 4 from the build. Here's what it looks like from up above here so far. As you can see, the shape is really starting to come together. With that, let's move on to layer number 5. Alright guys, so moving into our final layers here, we're actually going to be going ahead and moving into layers 5 through 7. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and place down a daylight detector on top of the center black stained glass block, and we're going to go ahead and basically turn to night mode. One thing I would also like to cover is if you're on Java, we can go ahead and alter the properties here of these glass panes like we did before to actually go ahead and extend them toward those dark oak with fence gate there to give a little bit more accuracy to the shaping there of that cockpit. Again, just a little minor detail that isn't really necessarily needed, but just kind of helps add a little bit more to the overall look of the aircraft. At this point, we're going to then place down a lever that goes back from that daylight detector, and then we're going to place down a barrier block like so. We're going to come back to that barrier block in a second. Before we go ahead and do, though, we are going to go ahead and go to the back here, and on top of this middle dark oak trapdoor, we're going to place down a zombie head on top of it like so. So the lever looks like it's going up to connect up to that zombie head. Anyways, though, with that out of the way, let's go back to the barrier block. This barrier block here, we're going to then go to the sides of it. We're going to place down a stone button on the sides of both sides of the barrier block. We're going to go back from the stone button, 2 more barrier blocks, and then 2 stone buttons on the side of those blocks. We're going to then go to the side of the buttons here. We're going to place down 2 barrier blocks, like so, and then 2 stone buttons on top of those barrier blocks. We then want to go ahead and place down a barrier block coming off this stone button, and then a barrier block on the bottom of that one. So it should look something like this there, or like that from the side there. We then want to place down a barrier block that's going to go off this one, out to the side and back. So it's going to kind of be a diagonal here. Let it disappear there, and there you go. And we're going to place down 1 more barrier block back. We're going to place down 2 stone buttons there on the bottom of those 2, like so. We then want to go ahead and go off this barrier block, out to the side and back one. And we're going to place down a second one back from it. This one here is going to have 2 stone buttons there on the sides. After that's done, we want to go ahead and then skip out or come off this stone button here. 1 and 2 barrier blocks back, and again 2 stone buttons there along the sides, like so. We're going to go then place down a mossy cobblestone wall on top of this block here, then a green terracotta block, and an air mossy cobblestone wall like that. Once we have that done, we're going to go then place down a yellow concrete block on top, and then a yellow stained glass pane coming off both sides of that yellow concrete block. And then lastly, a birchwood trapdoor here on top of the vertical stabilizers. And with that all done, one thing I would also like to mention is the unit number. So you can go ahead and put the aircraft number on the side here. This is going to be using green banners and white lettering, or white numbering. Now I'm not going to go ahead and show you guys exactly how to make all the letter banners in this tutorial. It'll be a little bit redundant. I will, however, recommend that you guys go ahead and search up or find some tutorials if you are unfamiliar with how to make bannered letters and numbers. It's pretty simple to do, and there's plenty of tutorials that do cover how to do it. So again, I would strongly encourage you guys to go to that. So basically, to place these banners though, we have 2 digits. You could do up to 3 if you really wanted to. We're going to place down our first number on this wall here, and then our second number on that block like that. So on the right side it should read 18, and then over here on the left side, as you can see, it reads 18 as well. So the numbers are kind of placed differently to make sure that you can read it left to right on both sides, which is how it would be. Anyways, though, that right there is going to wrap up everything we have there for that. And we now have the propellers to go ahead and throw on. So let's go ahead and move into the propellers. Now, the propellers here are pretty simple to do. We're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and going off this yellow concrete block, and we're just going to build a row of 1, 2, 3, and 4 blocks. We're going to go ahead and then delete the first 3 blocks like so. We're going to go then place down a wither skeleton skull coming off this block, then another wither skeleton skull coming off that skull, and a skull coming off that skull. We can then delete that block, and you get our first blade like that. Our next one here is going to be a polished black stone wall that's going to go up from the corner here of this block, up again to the side, and then we're going to place down a block on top of that wall, and then a wither skeleton skull coming off the side of that block, like so. Going bottom, or going to the bottom of the aircraft, we're going to place down a black concrete block, like so, and then a wither skeleton skull come off the side of that block. We're going to then go down from the wither skeleton skull, place a block, and then a wither skeleton skull come off the side of that block. And then we want to go and go to the this side here. So like this from that skull, and we're going to place down another block, or another wood skeleton skull coming off that block, like that. And once you have that done right there, that should be basically the blades there for the aircraft. And obviously the same thing will be done there for both sides of it. And with that all out of the way, that right there is basically it for my tutorial for the in-flight version for the P-38 Lightning. And at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and now move into landing gear, and I'll be showing you guys how to do the landing gear as a modification to it. Alright guys, so moving into our landing gear. Our landing gear here is really simple to do on the aircraft and really won't take us too much time to do. To begin with though, we're going to be going ahead and going to the bottom here of the front nose of the aircraft. We're going to go ahead and delete this piston right here. Then the other two polished andesite blocks going back from it. In place, we're going to go ahead and place down a polished andesite upside down stair here, polished andesite top slab, and then polished andesite upside down stair directly behind that. We then want to go ahead and drop down from this polished andesite stair with a birchwood fence post. So we'll go ahead and grab that now. If I can remember where fence posts are. There we go. And we're going to have that fence post that drops down like so. Now once we have that all done, we're going to go and place down a block of coal on the bottom of it. We're going to place down a lever to the side here. Now right here you do have a few options on what you guys can do. For those of you that are going to be on basically a different version other than Java, I'd recommend going ahead and placing down a skeleton skull coming off this iron trap, or this birchwood fence post here, and then a skeleton skull here to the side. Obviously, since it's not the best looking, we can go ahead and make this a little bit better. This is where being on Java and having some mods, or not really even mods, some extra tools can come in handy. Instead, we're going to go ahead and place down two block, or basically a block space, and a block to the side here coming off this fence post here, and also same thing like this going back in this direction. On this side here, we're going to place down a tripwire hook, and on this side here, we're going to place down a lever. Using our debug stick, we're going to go ahead and left click our tripwire hook until we get selected facing, and it should say a direction. By right clicking it, we can rotate the tripwire hook until it is basically to the side there of our fence post, which kind of looks like it connects up to this lever a little bit. So it kind of helps with the landing gear and kind of shaping that a little bit better. And then for this lever here, we're going to do the same thing. Make sure you are crouching when you do this, but we're going to place down we're going to left click until we get selected facing. And again, want to make sure you're crouching. We're going to right click this until the lever rotates around to basically come off this wall here, and it'll look like it connects up to that polished andesite stair. So it's a fun little technique to go ahead and do there to make the landing gear look a little bit nicer for those of us on Java. Now after we have that all done, we want to go and then place down a banner design, which is a light gray banner with a black border and a black horizontal line for the center. I'm not going to show you guys how to make it in the loom because it's pretty self-explanatory, but this will just go on the side there of that block of coal. We then want to go ahead and place down a polished diorite top slab coming down from this wither skeleton skull, and then 1, 2, and 3 back. So you have a total of 4 there. And then we're going to go and grab our birchwood signs, and we're just going to place down birchwood signs on the sides there of the last 2 slabs, like that. And that right there will basically make the door, and now that door will only be on the right side of the aircraft there. With that all done, that's it for the front landing gear, and let's go ahead and move on to the rear. Alright guys, moving into our rear landing gear, we're going to start off by going ahead and going to this section here. We're going to count back to our second from last stair here, and we're going to break the polished diorite block on the inside here, followed by the second block back, and then this third block, and then this 4th slab here will also be deleted. We'll also be deleting these 2 skeleton skulls in this space there. Now in this spot here, we're going to go ahead and place down a polished andesite upside down stair like so, a andesite wall coming down from it, and then coming off this andesite wall to the side, we're going to place down a polished blackstone wall, and then we're going to place down 1 more back from it. Now on top of those 2 polished blackstone walls, we're going to place down 2 wither skeleton skulls. So we're going to place down 1 here and 1 here. Then a skeleton skull, normal, coming off the side of that wall there, like that, and that's going to basically make your wheel there. We then want to go ahead and fill this space in by going ahead and grabbing iron trapdoors. We're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 in this section here. We'll place down 2 iron trapdoors to the sides here, and again, using our debug stick, we can go ahead and close those trapdoors so they lay flat on the side there. You can also use birchwood trapdoors as a good alternative. And then coming off this slab here, we're going to place down a birchwood sign to both sides like so. This same design will be applied to the other side for the other boom, and once you have that done to both sides, you'll have the landing gear fully complete here for the P-38 Lightning. Anyways guys, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial for the landed and in-flight version of the P-38 Lightning. If you guys do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. It's been anything from a solid build to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for your free for projects you guys are working on overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. With that though, again, a big special links to Patreon supporter Brickbros 2016 for making this tutorial possible, and as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett204, and I'll see you guys next time.